So it's Saturday morning and it's kind of cold and rainy out, but I've got a guy coming to get a storage shed that I built. It's behind me here, and I'll just show you a little bit. That's all wood that I sawed from my sawmill, and I started it almost a year ago. It was a little project, just a little sideline, I guess. So they're coming shortly to put it on a trailer and deliver it to the customer. I've been finishing that up and doing some odds and ends, a little bit of sawing. As you can see here, I've got a little issue with my tractor. I'm changing the seals on the bottom of the wheel, so that guy's down. I had a hydraulic leak underneath also. So we took that apart at the beginning of the week, and I ordered some parts. They're called floating seals. Anyway, I got the seals and they go under here. 2 seals, and where that front wheel rotates, there's a shim here as well. That shim was worn out, creating the, making the wheel kind of lopsided a little bit, and those floating seals, they usually rub together and create a seal. Well, they weren't able to do that, so it was losing differential fluid. Here's that bushing. It's kind of interesting. See how worn out it is? She's wore right through. This is I think it's a steel bushing, but it's got like a brass insert inside, and that goes under here like so. But yeah, it was quite worn out, so I ordered a couple of those. The other side is not leaking, so I'll leave it be until it does. But I'm waiting for that bushing, and I'll reassemble this, and I can get my tractor on the go. My tractor is it's like my workmate at the sawmill and around the house. I tell you, I can't do a whole lot without it. No 2 days go by without me starting my tractor, either to move lumber that I've sawn out of the sawmill, or to put some logs in, or to move a pallet of firewood around, or anything. So I really miss it when it's down. But anyway, we're waiting for parts out. It won't be long. We'll put that back together. It means it's being used, I guess. So he'll be back together in a couple of days. So he's just loading her on now. If you can see the side doors here, I had them kind of hidden. That was kind of the idea. They're 2 doors, 6 feet wide, to put your ATV or lawn tractor in there. And I also had a man door, French door I had in front. So the shed's gone. That guy who came to get that shed, professional building mover, does a great job, has been doing it for a long time. It's interesting, he has, he's got some big crank jacks that jack up the shed, but he also has one, it's an old railroad jack, dated back to the 1911, I think, and it's just a click jack, you know what I mean? And he's got a long pipe, and so he just gets that jack underneath the shed and kind of jacks it up and puts his big jacks underneath, so he sort of saves a whole step where he would have to put his crank jacks underneath, lift it up, and readjust to go a little higher to get his float underneath, his trailer underneath. When he's got this crank jack, he can just crank it up, with a big handle, get it up, put his jacks underneath, crank it a little bit, get his trailer underneath, and away he goes. And a big time saver. So he was in here and out in no time at all. So glad to see that go. That was a nice project, though. I put a lot of detail, as you can see, on that shed. I sawed the lumber, and I did a board-on-board style, sort of like my sawmill building here, but I planed all the wood. I chose a lot of clear spruce that I had sawed, dried it, planed it, stained it. I put 2 coats of good Benjamin Moore stain on that shed. Trimmed it, put metal on half of the eaves there, and roofed it up, and I put that nice trim in the front there with the beams. Took a lot of time, but I got my value out of it. I calculated my hours and my time and all of that, and materials, and I got my time and materials out of it, so that was good that way. It's pretty satisfying, though, once you build something, once you complete it, you know that you've went in the woods and you've cut the logs and you've trimmed them and you've bucked them and you've hauled them out of the woods and you've sawed it and you've dried it and you've planed it and you sanded it and you've stained it and trimmed it and put it together. It's a pretty satisfying process to know that you took it from its natural growth there and built something kind of beautiful with it. So yeah, a really satisfying thing, huh? The things you can do with a sawmill. So now I'm going to clean up this spot where the shed used to be. I'm kind of glad, though. I've got extra parking, so that'll be nice. And park my truck there. Boy, has the weather people ever been wound up this week? We started with a cold week, jackets and stuff. I think we went below 0, just not too far from here. Ice in the water puddles. The next day we were out in t-shirts, hot as heck. And now today it's cold again, windy, rainy. Wind is coming from the north. So I got a pallet of wood here. This is my first one to go in the garage. Put it in with the tractor before I took it apart. So gonna make a little fire in the furnace. But this is the first rack to come in. Beautiful firewood. A lot of birch in here. So in the next few weeks, we'll be filling up this furnace room with some dry firewood. Seasoned firewood, I should say. We're pretty much done the splitting. We've got about another cord, I think a cord and a half to do. But I can't get my split fire machine out of the garage because my tractor's broke down there right now, but he'll be fixed next week. So in the next coming weeks, the sawmill slowed down a bit. So the plan is to get my firewood finished and in, which is pretty much done, and a few sawmill orders I have, and pretty much going to concentrate on logging. So I'm going to go in the woods and do some logging. I've got some hemlock to cut down and some spruce. I've already got some down, but I've got to cut some more down. So, soon I'll make a video. I want to make a video highlighting my heating system and how I do it. I may have done it a little bit before on my channel, but I want to highlight it again. because it's a pretty interesting process if you ask me. Because I have the equipment, I'm able to do it this way, and it saves on time, it saves on energy, and it's just a great system in my opinion anyway. So yeah, we'll get all the firewood in the furnace room here done, and we'll be ready for the winter because it's coming pretty quick. Time changes tonight, which is horrible for a lot of people. I know it is for me. At 5 o'clock, it's dark and it's crappy, but anyway, that's how it is. That's what it is. I try to get out into the garage, you know, after supper to do some maintenance or something, but it's dark and you feel like you want to go to bed. But anyway, we'll do that, and it's nice. I've got lights in the sawmill shed there, so I can saw a couple logs after supper. That's no problem. So we'll get that done. But anyway, I wanted to make a little video and about the shed and what I built, and also it'll archive it on my channel. In years' time, I'll be able to come back and see the shed that I built and sold, and it's nice to be able to do that. So, all right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.